I'm Wayne McGregor with Target Tracker Moving Target Systems, and I wanted to thank Troy over at Trigger Time TV. We were talking on the phone, and they work closely with CrossBreed Holsters. So Troy sent me this holster to try out. Just got it out of the box, put it on, wore it around a little bit, and tried to find that comfortable spot. A few things when you do in the waistband holster, which is referred to as an IWB, is finding that comfortable position. Some people carry it up here, over here, right-handed, left-handed, to the back a little bit. I put mine back here simply because I'm in and out of a vehicle a lot, and when I get in there I noticed it was probably the most comfortable spot. So everybody's going to have a little bit different adjustment on how they work. With this holster, it has a leather pad, so it's comfortable. One of the things that you'll notice when you go to an IWB also is you might have to buy a little bit larger pants, because it adds about 1.5 inches, 2 inches to your waist when you put your belt on. But I kind of put it back here because it's comfortable there. And whenever I haven't done any repetitions with this holster at all, I like to do my repetitions when I start out in more of a threat sequence to see how everything's going to work together, whether I have a jacket on, a shirt on, a t-shirt, pair of shorts. So right now I'm dressed how I usually dress. Got a couple t-shirts on, pair of jeans, regular shirts, ready to go. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over and think about if there's a threat here. So if this is a threat, I want to be able to really kind of change their mindset a little bit. So I'm going to put my hand in somebody's face to get my point across that I don't need any trouble from them if they're that close. Typically threats are very close. So I'm not going to work on speed and agility. I'm just going to do some repetition. And also, as we're doing some repetition, we're actually in my garage right now. And what I've done is I've set up a 180 degree 16 by 10 by 10, so I can work at least in a 180 degree fashion using UTM training ammunitions. So basically it's a non-lethal way to practice at home. I like the UTM product so much, we became a dealer, so if you need any information on that, you can contact me at the end of the video. But repetition wise, right, I'm going to think about that fight, right? So if this is my fight, I want to get my gun away from whatever the threat might be. So as this threat's coming to address me, I'm going to work on my repetition, right? So right now I know I've got to get my shirt out of the way. I've seen a lot of really fast guys with their IWB stuff. They've got a process where they're moving a jacket or lifting their shirt up with one hand and other. But what if you don't have that luxury? So if a threat's coming at me, if they're a ways away, I can give them some verbal judo or whatever you want to call it, right? Is, you know, hey, you're close enough. You know, you're making me feel nervous, stay back, right? Most of the time people will stay back. So then, you know, you might not even have to address the issue. But in a situation like this, the threat's close. It could be in a public place, could be anywhere. So you really have to be aware of your surroundings, at least in a 180 degree fashion, if not a full 360. But for this training, I want to learn how to draw and put it back really quickly, right? So if I've got my shirt over it every time, I know that I have to build into a repetitious nature, getting that shirt out of the way, whether it's a thumb up, off the gun, and then out. Because I'm not going to assume that I can use both hands in a threat situation. So if this is a threat situation right here, the target or the threat's coming at me, I might be backing up, I might just grab it, right? And have to address it that close. So we'll give you a kind of a couple repetitions of that, and then I'm going to practice a lot more with this IWB. First off, I had another one and it wasn't comfortable. This one with the leather and how it surrounds my body and my hip is very comfortable, and it's getting to the point where I don't notice it. So, you know, that's a good thing. So when I work on my repetition, I want to make sure all the equipment that I'm using is practical, and I want to make sure it's comfortable. Working on my repetition, I'm actually working on my repetition under a little bit of stress, a little bit of realism, so that way I can really kind of hone my skills in a stress-induced fashion, and that's what we do a lot with the target tracker moving target systems. But we'll give you kind of a little show of that. Basically, if this is a threat, stop. I don't need any trouble, right? Right, and I can bury a couple right there. Now, I can reholster, right, because I want to work on my repetition, put my shirt back over it. So now there's a threat over here. Stop right there. Right? So I can practice that repetition up close, personal. It's more like a real fight, right? So I'm going to build that stress in. And then as I get a little bit more fluent with my repetition, I'm simply going to engage the mover. So the moving target will be coming at me. We can do a lot of different drills that way as well. So based on that, I can move, I can practice my repetition, right? Reholster, t-shirt back over. I don't know which one's going to be the threat. Over here, this one's a threat, right? So that's a natural aiming training drill. You know, number one, my hands up high in their face because I want to change their mentality of attacking me. The second part is I'm going to stop the threat. So a good signal, if it's on human, right, rather than human on target, I'm going to go to stop them with an eye or something like that. Hopefully that will diffuse the situation so I don't have to shoot the attacker. So, you know, whenever you get a chance, you know, to evade and get out of there, you can. It's great, but if you can't, that's what this is all about. So as I practice, I'm going to get faster. So boom, here's my threat, right? Dropping a couple rounds in it. And each time I do it, I'm getting a little quicker. So practice, practice, practice. So with this little garage setup, I can come out here, do some rounds, do some repetition, get my practice in pretty efficiently. So I'm just going to do some more repetition with this holster, get used to it, and get my speed and accuracy built up. Two threats. 4 threats. So if I'm in a situation where I'm being attacked by multiple people, I can oscillate that, use a lot of different targets. Right here, got my own makeshift little range to practice in. So I can come up and set up in 10 minutes, get a little practice in with UTM ammunition, working on the CrossBreed holster, and then we go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can work from up close to backed out, right? So now I'm going to do it one-handed. I just want to practice that repetition under a little stress, so I'll learn it a little bit quicker and more efficiently, and not to mention more realistically. So it's always a lot different when you practice with a realistic nature. So the more realistic you can get, the better you are. Have a great day. Thanks again to Troy at Trigger Time TV and CrossBreed Holsters.